All praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh Shai. All praises for the Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that have been and continue to teach the true gospel. Salute to the Akim spreading the true gospel on the streets and lanes of the city, on the highways and hedges, and on the World Wide Web. Much love to you, humble Akwath, who learn science with all subjection and are in righteous order under the men of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. It's the brother Raza from the Church of Philadelphia camp. And the Lord put on my spirit to really go into the times that we're in, and it's about life or death. You know, and that's for everybody. You know, but especially the men of the Lord. You know, and what we hope for. You know, and we want life. You know, we have the walking dead that we look at every single day. It's essentially a cemetery full of bodies walking around out here. You know, as it says in the Valley of the Dry Bones. Shall these bones live? Right? But this is a serious thing. You know, especially the fact that we're in the last days of the last days. This is a serious thing. And we should be concerned about that which can kill both body and soul. But it seems like Jake is only worried about the Esau, Edom, and other heathen nations that, hey, yeah, they can kill the body. But you should see how the Lord has gradually taken some of that power from him. Because if this was 200 years ago, guess what? He would do it out in the open. He would kill us out in the open. There's no way in the world that camps will be out there, right? Prophesying or speaking down against this government. Even though the prophets was, oh, yeah, they did. They spoke against great kings, right? You know, they spoke of war and the pestilence and all those things. But the Lord gave Esau Edom his blessing of the sword, right? And he used that blessing to the T. And he's still using it. He's doing it covertly now. You know, whether he's assassinating your character, poisoning your food, right? But, you know, before he had the power to do it right in the open. You know, it was lawful. Hang you right on the tree, right? Hanging the Israelites right on the tree. Because that's what it was mostly for. Make all types of false accusations, gun you down, right? Cut you up. Rape, rob, murder your women, your children, right? All this was done in the open. Like it was lawful. And it was lawful for them to do whatever they wanted to do against us. But the Lord gradually took that type of oppression away. You know, and slowly raised us up on our feet. You know, and people don't point that out enough. You know, but this thing is about life or death. And which one will you choose? Well, we know the 2/3 is going to choose death. They just stay in it, and they choosing it because the Lord has blinded them. The Lord has made them deaf, dumb, and blind. You know, but as a signpost for us to see how much we've come out of darkness into this marvelous light, and it truly is a marvelous light. You know, but it's both bitter, it's both sweet and bitter. Because we're still in this oppression. You know, the real sweet is going to be when we get in the kingdom. Right? The real sweet is when we see the downfall, the destruction of this place. And we see our deliverance. Right? Getting beamed up on the fathership, chariot. Right? Yeah, but enough of me babbling. Let's get into this precept. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. And what type of warning we're giving them? Life or death. Choose ye this day, right? And so that's why when we say, hey, we're only here for the elect, is because that's who will hear us. And that's who the Lord is gathering in this time. Right? So it's nothing that we can do to persuade the people that God, Yahweh, has made deaf, dumb, and blind. Yeah, sure, we persuade many through showing them the power of the Yahweh Bashim El Shai. You know, we try to persuade many. Thus saith Yahweh Bashim El Shai. You know, roughly paraphrasing, we persuade many through that, through showing them that Yahweh Bashim El Shai ain't playing. You know, and He will bring evil upon this land and upon His people. You know, as the prophets of old did. The prophets of old told them what the evil that was going to come upon Israel. They still didn't listen. They were still stiff-necked. They tried to persuade them through that fact, right? It says, hey, Ezekiel doing it right now. It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, again, life or death, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So yeah, so we're going out on the streets and lanes of the city, on the highways and hedges, on the World Wide Web, to give people warning. So even though we know that the 2/3 ain't going to hear us, right? We still have to give them warning to mark them, because now the blood is washed off of our hands. You know, and it says whether they were here or forbear. You know, it's our job, it's our duty to go out there and preach this word. You know, whether people walk by us, whether people mock at us, scoff at us, right? Whether we, you know, so-called losing our woman, family, friends, job, whatever, you know, it's still our duty. And we do it so we can take the crown of life and put it on, so Yahweh Shai can put it on our heads. To have that crown of life, right? But we have to do this work and warn our people. Again, whether they will hear or forbear. It says, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die. Death shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul. Yeah, so life is to our soul. Right, because we did what we were supposed to do, and we preach this word, you know, and this word is voiced abroad through the YouTube mainly, right, the World Wide Web. So this word has been noised abroad, right? So hey, we ready for that life, that eternal life, right? You know, and that's going to come through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, and nothing else. Nothing that we actually do, but what we actually are given, what we actually pray for, what we hope for. You know, Yahweh Shai keeping that mighty spirit on us. Yahweh Bashim El Shai blessing us with this perfect gift. You know, to have that fear of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, that we receive the wisdom, right? Because that's the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. Praise ye the Lord, you know? It's the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, death. So Christianity, broadness, right? Come as you are, do as you will, that do as thy will spirit, right? You can run amok for 6 days and basically, well, almost 7 days, because you only got 2 hours in the Christian church nowadays anyway, right? So almost 7 days. So for 2 hours, you can be holy as thou will, right? And then once you leave that And that's a huge cemetery, that Christian church. You know, it's like that's a huge mausoleum. Matter of fact, I think that's what you call it, where they got the places where they put people. Right, that's what the church is. Dead you go in there, and dead you go out. You know, nothing but destruction is going to come upon you. So, hey, that's where most of our people is hung up in. Either Islam, Christianity, right? And that's the broad way. Where many of our people not? Knowing that they are the true Israelites, knowing their true nationality, knowing the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. All the things that the scriptures say for us to do, we don't do. We acting like, someone can progress the scriptures as if there was something wrong with what Yahweh had ordained for his people. So they're going to fix it. They're going to upgrade it. What's that? Let me upgrade you, huh? That's what you let Esau Edom do to the scriptures. You let him upgrade it. Progressive, right? We are lost, sick people if we fell for that. But many of us did. Hey, including myself. I got to look in the mirror, right? Until Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, bless me with this perfect gift of knowing who I am, of being called, and Lord willing, chosen as one of the elect. That's what I hope for. That the Lord will continue to sup with me, that I endure to the end, so that I can be saved. That I'll know that I'm both called and chosen. Right? It says, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, destruction, death, or life. And few there be that find it. Yeah, because this is not a lot of people, right? Because they look at us like we crazy. Oh yeah, there's something wrong with him, right? Meanwhile, all these prophecies is happening, right? Happening right in front of people's eyes. They still can't get it. That's how you know how much of a spiritual thing this is, right? And how much of a beautiful gift that's been given to the men of the Lord. Because here you see it right in front of your face. It's going on. It's happening. And you still mocking and scoffing the men of the Lord. Right? So, hey, we're trying to lead our people to life and not death. And that's our job. Whether they were here or forbear. Right? Because ultimately we know it's a predestination in this thing. But we don't know who the actual people are. So that's why we push the word out. And if they can get the beat and start dancing to the real music, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, hey, the angels rejoice. Get this last precept. It says, this book of Isaiah, chapter 13. Yeah, it says, how ye for the day of Yahweh, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. And that's where we're at. We at the day of Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai came to crack them skies wide open. To redeem his people and to destroy Esau Edom. First and foremost. Destroy Babylon the Great, aka America. Destroy our land so it can be built back up in Jerusalem. Right? So that's the day of the Lord. And it's at hand. Yeah, and no roses and hearts is going to be thrown out from the arrows of the little milky angels, right, with diapers on. Right? You people are through. And we can't wait. We cry inside to Yahweh Bashim Abishai day and night to be redeemed, to be delivered from this wicked, wicked, wicked place. So that we can glorify, magnify, and praise the name of Yahweh Bashim Abishai forever in eternity. Right? And put on those immortal bodies, right? And have eternal life, right? And instruct the people and rule this world in righteousness. Right? That's what we hope. Hey, and with that, Lord willing, this video is edifying to the elect. Till next time, Shalom.